Hello and welcome back to the Holistic Table. This week we are making two recipes, a Mexican chickpea bake and a chamomile golden milk. First we'll turn on the oven to 400 for our chickpea bake, and then we'll get our mise en place set up again, getting all our ingredients set out and ready to go so there is no delay when it comes time to cook. Next, we will wash our produce. You can never be too careful in the kitchen when it comes to cleaning fruits and veggies, especially when they are fresh from the farmers and still have some dirt on them. We even wash the peels of garlic, ginger, and onions. Once they are washed, we can chop away. I like to de-stem my kale this way by shucking it, but you can do it however you like. I then like to bunch my kale up together for an easy chopping job. And here's a better angle up here. For my onions, I prefer to cut the tops off first and move it to the side, and then cut down the middle from top to bottom. This makes peeling go by so much easier. For chopping it, cut towards the bottom, but don't cut all the way through. The bottom is what holds everything together, so you don't have onion flying everywhere. Now we'll go ahead and measure out our chickpea flour, water, and our avocado oil. And then we can go ahead and heat up the skillet to medium-high, adding in some olive oil to coat the bottom. You can either just start off by sautéing the onions, or just throw all the veggies in together if you're in a bit of a time crunch. While it's cooking, we'll mix the chickpea flour in with the water. When it's nice and smooth, we'll also add in the spices and keep mixing to get a nice consistency. And now we pour over our kale and we pop it in the oven for 25 minutes or until it's nice and crispy around the edges. A nice golden brown will do. While that's baking, we'll go ahead and start on the avocado mousse. We'll need one beautifully ripe avocado like this one. Go ahead and just plop it into a bowl and set aside. We'll also need some Mexican seasoning or taco seasoning, some fresh lime juice, give it a nice roll, and then squeeze, some avocado oil again, and some sea salt to help with enhancing the flavor. We'll also have some garlic because everything tastes much better when garlic is added. Next, we'll go ahead and put everything into our food processor or blender. Whatever you have at home is fine. It's just to get everything mixed nicely. Now we can go ahead and turn it on. And don't be afraid to scrape the sides, just to give everything a nice mix. And we'll go ahead and pour it into our storage container, making sure we get every little drop because these are some choice ingredients. And I made a mistake, forgot to add the water. We're going to put it back into the blender, add our water this time, and give it a second mix. If you preferred it to be a little bit thicker, you can add in an extra avocado. Okay, take two is done. Now since we have more time still, we can go ahead and work on our golden milk. First, we'll measure out our almond milk and pour it over our medium saucepan that's been heated. We'll add in our maple syrup or sweetener of choice and our almond butter or nut butter of choice. We have our spices already mixed in. We'll give it a nice stir so that everything is nice and even. And then we can add in our chamomile tea bag. We add this in last because all it has to do is steep for a little bit. And while that's steeping, would you look at that? Our chickpea bake is ready. We're gonna go ahead and top it with our mousse. Wow, it looks incredible. And at this point, our golden milk is done. Now we can sit back, enjoy, and we'll see you next week for our new recipe.